This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. With me is Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren. Frank, we've just seen a big announcement on BT Sports social channels that Canelo v Plant, the undisputed bout, will be on BT Sport box office November the 6th. Great to get on the platform.
Yeah, really delighted. Worked hard and got it over the line, so it's I'm sure everybody's going to be pleased with it. It's a good fight, actually. It is a good fight. I think Plant will give him a run for his money.
Of course, you used to have Canelo back in the day a lot on BoxNation. Just tell me how this kind of wound up on BT. What was the process?
It was done via basically he'd done the deal. George, my son, did the deal. He worked on it with PBC and got it over the line. So it's as I say, it's a really good fight, and we're delighted it's on BT. We'll be doing a show as well the same night.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Literally, you've got Zach Parker headlining on BT Sport here in the UK. So obviously, there's a nice little narrative. We know Zach's been calling Canelo's name, and rightly so, because he is highly rated in WBO, number one. But it's a nice little narrative having Zach and Canelo on the same night on BT.
It is, and and he's done well since he's been with us. Zach, I'm really pleased with him as a fighter. I think he's really looked the business, and as I say, so the fans in the UK will see the best super middleweights out there, isn't it? I mean, the very best, the guy who's the top of the tree, and the new young kid on the block. Definitely.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Canelo Plant. You said it's a good fight in your opinion. You give Caleb Plant a chance, but how much of a serious chance do you give Caleb Plant against the pound for pound number one?
Look, he's a decent fighter. I mean, Canelo does everything that's asked of him. He's become very, very strong at that weight, very, very strong, and he's obviously very settled at that weight, and he'll be the big favourite going into it. But Plant seems to fancy it. They had the face-off a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? And that was all got quite heated. So I think I think it'd be a decent fight. I'd expect Canelo to prevail, but I think it'd be a decent fight.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I know the clip you're talking about. I'm sure BT will pump that clip a few times before we get to November 6th. It seems like there is genuine bad blood between the two as well, which is always good for a box office fight.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Frank, is there any updates on Anthony Yarde and Lyndon Arthur? What's going on there, please?
We will be making the announcement on Monday regarding that fight.
Okay. Can you give us any clues now?
That it's on.
All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear, because I think at one point it certainly looked like that fight wouldn't be on. So I know there was a contract on place, but it seems so hard for both parties to come to terms and agree. But I guess that's a monkey off your shoulder, that one.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Same question.
I've done it for 250 quid, not a monkey.
Same question about Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. Updates?
Well, we're getting very close to it, and I just hope that there's some. I don't want to tempt fate, but I really do feel that on both sides there's a will to make it happen, and I think we're quite, hopefully not far away from that being an announcement. So,
I'm guessing it's increased quite a lot from 1 million.
I'm not even going to go into those details, but whatever it is, as long as everybody... Look, you know what? You make fights and fighters sign contracts. And at the time they sign the contracts, they have the opportunity to say, right, I'm not fighting. That's not what I want. I want more money. Then don't sign the contract. But once you sign the contract, that's what you agreed, and you got to honour your agreement. I can't go back to a fighter if, for example, I've agreed to pay him £1 million and say, I'm sorry, you're getting 500. I don't want to give you £1 million. It is what it is. And that's what contracts are there for. That's why you sign them. So that is the agreement that you both make, and you notate that agreement.
How do you think that fight rates on both Showtime pay-per-view in the States and obviously on BT Sport box office here?
Listen, I'm not. I've made over the years made my sort of the feelings known about YouTube fights and so forth. And they'll always keep saying, "Good luck to them. They can go on a few quid in doing what they're doing." That's great. Tommy has got a great opportunity there of making a really sizable purse. And I think it's a fight that he wins. So who would stand in his way from it happening? They both have a lot of followers. I think what's his name? Paul's got around something like 25 million followers, and I think he's around 5, Tommy. So it's, that don't hurt, does it, before you start when you're trying to promote a fight? So it is what it is, and I think it'd be for the people who like those type of fights, and also myself, I've got an interest in it, obviously through Tommy, and it's going to be I think also people in boxing will watch it.
Yeah, I think it is that big
because there's a curiosity.
I think it genuinely is that big that what people's attitudes in boxing sometimes. Oh, where are you going, Frank?
I'm here, mate.
Sorry, just I got a notification. I'm back.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes the attitudes towards them YouTube fights, if you like, is not the best from people in boxing. But I think this one's been talked about so much that actually people in boxing will take a genuine interest in this one as well.
Well, look, they will do, and there'll be a good card around it. We'll have, there'll be a good card. There'll be some other good fighters on there. So, hopefully there'll be something for everybody. we'll find out who's the king of the YouTubers.
What's going on with Daniel Dubois?
He will be fighting before, probably in December. We're looking at December, so we're working on that as we're speaking.
And how have the conversations with the WBA been about that?
They've got to come back to us. We've been obviously pushing on that. We're waiting for them to come back, but I understand the meeting is going to take place within the next week or so, and we'll get some information back. But whatever happens, he will fight. We'll get him out in December.
Just before we close off, obviously you got 2 cards to talk about this weekend. Let's start off with the one in Birmingham. A brilliant headline between Foster and Cunningham. That obviously, the headlines are being generated by Tyson and Deontay for obvious reasons, but I feel like that's gone a little bit under the radar, that fight. It's a really good little main event, that. I agree.
It's a really good fight. And Brad's, he's, obviously we promote him, but he's done so well. When you think the guy had no amateur experience, he won a Lonsdale belt and a Commonwealth title. And I think was it 15 fights now? Roughly, I think it's 15 fights. That's phenomenal for somebody with no experience, no amateur experience to have done that. And he has actually gone under the radar a bit. And I'm not saying it's our fault. We could have promoted him better because we've made the fights that matter for him. But this is a big fight for him. This European title fight. It's not an easy one. It's going to be a tough job. But I really do rate him, and he's so eager to learn. When I watch him in fights and I hear some really good stories about him in sparring, where he's, if things are not going his way, he'll stop and he want to come back and put it right and so forth. He's got a very good brain, and I do think we're going to get a great fight tomorrow night for that.
And of course, that leads us on to the box office fight between Fury and Wilder. I know you spoke to our guys out there about that, but just I've got one question really. Tyson offered his services to Anthony Joshua, said that he will train him for that Usyk rematch. Can we take Tyson's offer seriously there? Do you think he's being serious with that, Frank?
No, I'm sure he's being tongue-in-cheek. But I've got to tell you something. If I was a heavyweight and Tyson Fury, with his boxing knowledge and his boxing brain, wanted to train me, I'd seriously consider that.
And when he says,
what is happening with his team? I read somewhere, or somebody told me that yesterday that they were having a change. I don't know if that's true or not. Is that true?
I don't actually know. I can't.
Oh, right, I didn't know. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Where did you read that?
No, I didn't read it. Somebody told me yesterday. I can't think who it was. One of the guys at in the press room.
Okay. Well, they probably know.
Listen, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be my business. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. But I thought maybe you might know.
It wasn't Tyson Fury who told you, was it?
No. Yeah, they're making an announcement next week. He's going to be his new trainer. Who knows? Listen, Tyson's got to get through his fight tomorrow. You never know in this business. I expect him to win, but anything can happen with these big guys. Anything.
Absolutely. Well, listen, best of luck with Tyson out there in Las Vegas, and I'm sure we'll have a catch up next week when you're back in London, Frank.
Look forward to it and enjoy the show tomorrow.
Will do. Thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, Frank Warren.
Thanks so much. Cheers, mate.